Hey everybody, Baldoric here. Today we are going to be talking about Plumeria, the brand new Astra Mythic in Fire Emblem Heroes as of October 2020. For those of you who are wondering why I haven't been making videos for a long time, I've kind of been doing some like home renovation stuff, moving, lots of different things, so I just haven't had the time to really do that in pretty much the entire month of September. So sorry about that, but what we're going to be doing is covering Plumeria today. Typically I do builds for Arena as well, but considering she is an AR Mythic, what I'm going to be doing instead is covering a couple different AR builds, what they can do, what you can actually use to build her with, a budget build, and all that stuff. So let's jump into the very first build here. And the first thing we need to talk about is her weapon, Flower of Plenty. So it grants res +3, grants attack and res +3 to allies within 5 rows and 3 columns centered on unit during combat. Basically, just having her relatively close to a unit on the map is going to be giving them an attack and res buff, which is fantastic because this combos well with other mythics. She gives a mythic buff herself, which means just having her on your team, just having her close on the map are going to be giving out some buffs. Now, combo that with a build like this. With the Wings of Mercy attack res push, which is on her base kit, the attack res push is at least, it actually makes it so that she can jump in and if necessary, if you're not going to be dancing, she actually does a fair amount of damage. Considering that she is a red tome user, she does counter certain green units that are going to be a threat, possibly a threat. She has a high attack stat as long as you're getting that attack boon, and with joint drive attack res push, you are getting a big buff that's putting her in the 70s for attack at least if you don't have other buffs going out there, which actually hits pretty hard, especially if Moonbow goes off and if you have something that helps proc Moonbow, like infantry pulse type units and things like that on your team. So it actually works out really good if you need to use her for the offensive side, and if not, with joint drive attack, drive speed, you are buffing your main attacker in those categories while also giving them an attack and res buff because of her Flower of Plenty. So you're basically looking at a unit that is geared to the teeth for buffing units. She can just fly in with Wings of Mercy and either be a support unit by just existing around the unit themselves, or she can do quite a bit of damage if she is attacking, especially a green foe, but pretty much anybody. She could do cleanup work if for some reason your sweeper was not able to do so. So, very powerful unit. Definitely going to be helpful in the Astra season to have that Dancer Mythic, because with Light Season we have Peony, now we have Plumeria for the Mythic season. So, Astra season, sorry. Very powerful hero. I'm excited to have her in the game. Going to be pulling on this banner for sure. Now, this is one idea of a build. Now, the other one is a little bit different. So, in this case, we're going to be really playing off her res stat and sabotage speed, which does come in her base kit. By giving her joint drive res, right? You're giving her a little bit more res, which is already at a high 51 because we're using fort defense res, which still keeps her attack at 61, which is still higher than a lot of attackers in the game, which is pretty awesome. Sabotage speed is definitely going to be hitting a bunch of enemies, which is going to help your main sweeper double. Won't help her double because her speed stat is literal crap, but your main sweeper is going to be able to double a lot easier. Now, I put Distant Guard here in the S slot, but realistically, you could kind of put anything you want here. If you wanted to go really crazy with res, you could put like a Fort Res in there. If you wanted to put drives there, you could. If you want to put Close Guard, whatever you want. I just did this because it's a generally good one. You do face a lot of ranged foes, so I think it's pretty much ideal to have something like this on there. But you want to have something buffing your allies in that S slot for this particular build. I also use Iceberg as her special because if that does ever proc, obviously she has an incredibly high res stat, so it will be doing quite a bit of damage. So this is a little bit more tanky. She won't be able to take anything defensively, but she could definitely take on a non-special like Thracier or something like that and survive because her res stat is huge. The only problem is getting doubled, so you're going to have to make sure that, you know, she would be able to survive that. So, definitely a good idea for a build, something like this if you're going for a little bit more on the tanky side and playing off her res and sabotage speed. Now, if you're looking for a budget build, let's say you pulled her, you got lucky, you got that plus attack or whatever it is, you want the dumb stat to be minus speed, Doesn't totally matter, but that's like ideal pull. This is kind of a build that I think works well with her. Now, Close Guard is relatively easy to get. It is in the Heroic Grail pool, so you can just pull it from there. And it makes her a generalist. She has attack res push on her, which is going to be able to make it so that if she does attack, she will be able to do a decent amount of damage. She still has 40 res, which is still strong for sabotage speed. Most enemies you're going to face aren't going to have beyond 40 res. And if you have buffs on her, it's definitely going to be higher than the majority of units in the game, so sabotage speed is still going to work. I did Close Guard and Distant Guard here because she's kind of a general. I go in, I'm able to stand by my, my sweeper and give not only the attack and res buff, but also those defensive buffs when they're getting attacked. Could save your sweeper's life, something to consider. You could also swap out Sabotage Speed here if you wanted to do Wings of Mercy instead, which is a little bit more consistent in most cases. So it really just depends on what you want to do. If you want to kind of stick with her base kit a lot, just go with Sabotage Speed. And if you really want to branch out and do some other things on a budget, I would say go with Wings of Mercy. But that pretty much covers my video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, consider subscribing. I'll be putting out more videos like this one. I will not be going on a break anytime soon. Hopefully, all the work that I needed to get done is done, so I will be putting videos out more regularly again. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.